Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video we are going to be dyeing my hair. I know I said I was going to keep this for a while, and I did. I kept it for a week, which is actually longer than I initially thought I was going to keep it for. I thought I would keep it for like the weekend, like 2-3 days, and then want to do something drastic. So I kept it longer than I originally thought I would. I still love this color. I love the blonde. I love like the tealy blue color, but these roots are what's really irritating me, and it's too early for me to bleach them right now. I have like an event and something I'm going to in March, and right now it's just too early. If I were to bleach my roots now, I would already have regrowth by the time I'm going on this thing. So yeah, I want to wait like 2 to 3 more weeks before I bleach my roots, and I don't want to leave them like this because it's really bothering me. You guys can see how grown out they are. So I like the color overall, but I just don't like these brassy roots, and honestly underneath here, the unevenness and like the swampiness of some of this blue under here is not cute. And I've only washed this hair once and the suds were blue, so I feel like as I'm washing it, the seaweedy, nasty yellowish green is coming through more and more. So today we're going to be using some Guy Tang products to dye my hair. I honestly haven't had a lot of experience using Guy Tang products, which is honestly shocking because I love him. He's one of my favorite hair artists. When I was in cosmetology school, he's the person I looked up to. Like, he is the OG master, I feel like, of YouTube and hair videos. I love him, watched him for so long. So it's kind of surprising that I haven't used more of his hair color or products. I definitely want to try more in the future. So today we're going to be using 2 of his direct dye shades. We're going to be using the shade Charcoal on my roots, and then we're going to be using Titanium Shield on my ends. So I'm not sure if the charcoal is going to cover these roots, but hopefully at least helps a little bit. It does look pretty dark. Here's what it looks like. It has like a bluish base to it, so I'm hoping having that bluish in there will cancel out some of this orange that's at my roots. And then Titanium Shield has like a purpley undertone to it, so I think it will do a good job at canceling out some of these yellow undertones underneath here and just kind of blending everything together a little bit better. So this up here is going to be like silver gray, and then underneath here is still going to be blue, but putting that Titanium Shield on top of this blue will hopefully just even things out a little bit more. I feel like I just got a lot going on right now and I'm kind of over it. I'm over the roots, and then I have this color, and then I have this color, which is uneven and patchy. So I'm just going to try and unify everything and hold off on bleaching my roots a little bit longer. At this point, I'm just like doing anything I can to prolong bleaching my roots and making myself wait a few more weeks until I am ready and it's closer to the thing that I'm going to. I did add a little bit of conditioner into the Titanium Shield because I didn't think 1 tube was enough to coat all of my ends. I didn't tamper with the charcoal at all. I just left it how it is. So let's go in with the charcoal color and see if this works on my roots. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's kind of like a 50-50 chance. I just need it to be subdued a little bit. Not sure if charcoal is a dark enough shade to cover up these hot roots, but I'm just hoping. Maybe it'll make it back to like a brown color and it'll make it look more like my natural color instead of an obvious copper hot root situation I got going on here. I've actually had this color purchased for quite a while, but I just haven't used it because I've been dyeing my hair colors, or I just haven't had like the right situation. So I was digging through all of like my hair dye or things I purchased for upcoming videos, and I saw this and I thought it would be perfect for the situation I have going on right now. See, look how much better that looks already, you guys. Okay, I don't have a mirror behind me, so I'm going to feel my way around. I want to make sure I coat this top section super good because this is the top of my head that everybody sees. If I run out of color, at least I'll have the top section done. I'm honestly pretty excited about bleaching my roots. Haven't done it since November. They are so grown out. It's gonna make me feel like a fresh and new person to have bleached roots. And I have a hair color in mind I would like to do. So basically what's happening is I'm going on like a trip. It's not an event, it's just like a trip I have booked for me and some of my friends. So I'm just going to get together with them for like 3 nights and 4 days. We're just gonna be together on a lake house and just hang out together and stuff. It's something that I like to do almost every year. Like, I try and book the same place and have like a friendship event like once a year. Because, you know, as you get older, you just don't see your friends as often, and it doesn't mean they don't care about you or love you. Everybody just starts to have lives and they start working, and it just gets harder and harder to see everybody, especially when everybody lives in different states or different areas. We all live live far away from each other, so it's nice to just get together at least once a year and just catch up and stay together in like the same house. So I'm really excited about that, and I just want to hold off a little bit longer on bleaching my roots. If I rinse this off and my roots are somehow like green or muddy, we're gonna have to divert plans and do some type of color remover. I don't know. Honestly, don't know what I'm gonna do if this doesn't work out in my favor. I'm trying to work my way back to having like one uniform hair color. I love split dye hair or doing the top one color, doing the bottom a different color, but it's a pain in the ass once you want to have one uniform color again to try and like get both sides even, or to get the bottom to match the top. That's why I like never do split dye hair color, because it's such a pain when you want to go back to one solid color to get everything even and to get both sides the same color. I also have to be careful not to get this charcoal on my ends because it is like bluish. So I'm worried if I get this on my ends, I'm gonna have blue spots everywhere. I definitely feel like I should have bought 2 tubes of each color, but I bought this so long ago, I didn't know what I was going to use it for. So yeah, definitely should have probably ran to the store and gotten a couple more tubes of this, but it's kind of a last minute thing. I've just been thinking about it. The past like 24 hours, I've gone back and forth on what I wanted to do with my hair. You guys know I dye my hair like every other day. One thing I've noticed about the impulses to dye my hair is if I just wait long enough and don't do it, eventually the color I wanted to do and that impulse to have that color will go away. So if I'm just patient and don't just impulsively bleach my hair or do color removers or dye it a crazy color, normally I don't even want that color after like 2 weeks. And honestly, it's not necessarily that I want this silver and charcoal hair color. It's kind of just me passing time. You know, I'm just trying to like wait and do what I can to like hold myself off from bleaching my roots. So I'm just trying to like work with my hair color. That's been my motto for like the past couple years. I try and work with whatever I have going on in my hair as often as possible, which is easier said than done. I'm sure you guys can relate. It's a lot easier to just like say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna work with whatever color I have instead of like removing it every single time I want to change my hair color. Because let me tell you, old me would 100% use a color remover for any situation. I think growing out my hair for a year and not touching it and just letting my roots grow out kind of made me realize it's nice to have healthy hair. Like, it doesn't matter as much to me if my hair gets damaged, but it feels good to have healthy hair, you know? I don't want breakage all over. I want long, thick, healthy hair. So in order to do that, I just gotta stop using color removers often and stop bleaching my roots every month. I don't mind doing a color remover every once in a while, but I try to limit them as much as possible. So this is a pretty repetitive process. I'm just gonna keep applying this shadow root all over on my root area, and I'll be back once we're ready to apply the color to the ends, because this is just repetitive, just trying to cover up that orange band. So let me finish doing this and I'll be right back so we can put the titanium shield on my ends. Okay, have the root shadow applied, and I barely had enough. There might be like a little inch section at the bottom of my neck right here that I could not get. So just ignore that if you see that back there hanging out. Let's go ahead and apply the end color. I also accidentally got some of this like brought down a little bit too far, but I think it's gonna be okay. I think I might start at the bottom somehow because that's where all the blue is, and I feel like it's more important to cover up the blue than it is to cover up the blonde. I can always do the bottom blue and then dilute the product even more with conditioner to do the top since this is so blonde. If you guys don't know, Guy Tang products, like almost all of them, I think maybe all of them, smell like lavender. Like that's the fragrance he puts in his dyes, and it smells really good. It like leaves your hair with like a nice fragrance to it. The lavender is pretty strong, so if you do not like the smell of lavender, probably don't get his dyes or his styling products, because the lavender smell is pretty strong, but I personally like it. It kind of like relaxes you and gives like a calming effect while you're dyeing your hair. Okay, it doesn't really look like this is gonna do much to the blue. I might still have blue underneath and then just have like silver on top. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know the situation. I'm just trying my best at this point to make my hair look a little bit better. The best thing for me to do would have been to just bleach my roots, but that's not an option for a couple more weeks. You guys, I feel like there's a 50-50 chance I rinse this out and my roots are still hot. So I'm gonna have like orange roots and then all of my ends are gonna be silver. And if that happens, we're gonna have a bigger mess than what we started with. So everybody take a moment of silence for my hair and just put her in your thoughts and prayers, because I think we might need a little bit of good energy to actually pull this off and make this successful. I don't know what it is. I just got a strong tuition that my hair is gonna wind up being worse than when I started. So let's hope that's not the case. His dye is thick, but it's super easy to work into the hair and saturate. It just glides right on in there. Okay, here's what we're working with. So I'm basically just trying to blend the two colors together, like blend the root shadow in with the end color, so that way there's not like a harsh line between the two shades, you know? We're just trying to melt everything together. I tried to look up some videos of people using this product, but I don't feel like it's very common. The only videos I could find were from Guy Tang directly. So hopefully if somebody else is thinking about using these products, this video will be helpful. Like I said, I did have to dilute the titanium shield a little bit with conditioner just so I'd have enough for all of my ends. And I definitely think this would work better if I didn't have to dilute that color. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna have enough color. I'm gonna start with these blue pieces around my hairline because they're obviously blue and the rest is blonde. So I wanna get all the blue pieces covered with this titanium shield first. All right, we just have the blonde on the top left, and I don't think I have enough dye. Let me just show you what I'm working with here. That's how much dye I have left. So I'm just gonna add some water into the bowl just to make it a little bit looser and to give me a little bit more color. I'm a little worried I'm gonna be speckled like a leopard. Like, I'm gonna have dark charcoal bits on my ends where it wasn't supposed to be because I accidentally got charcoal like on my mids and my ends. So I'm just hoping everything is gonna blend together pretty decently. The back is done. Now all we have are these two pieces on the side here. I probably should have like wet my ends before I did this. Just so that way the color would glide into the hair a little bit easier and I wouldn't use as much dye, but it's a little late for that now. Okay, you guys, everything's applied. I don't know how well it's applied. It looks pretty good, honestly. It looks saturated enough. I'm just hoping this is gonna turn out well. I don't know if I've ever been more scared to rinse a color out of my hair. I just wanna mention, while I'm working this color into my hair, my gloves are being stained pink. Can you guys see that? My gloves have like a pinkish red hue to them, which is really worrying me. I'm not sure if one of these colors has like a pinky red undertone. I'm just hoping that my hair is not going to fade to like a pink color. Can you guys see that? Yeah, it's like real pinky red, these gloves. What is going on? It says to process for 20 minutes and for increased vibrancy and animation, use heat. I'm not going to use heat because this is not something I want to keep permanently and it already looks kind of dark. So I'm going to let it sit at room temperature for 20 minutes. And then it says to rinse hair for several minutes and finish with desired shampoo and conditioner. So it does say to use shampoo and conditioner after this. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to rinse it out with water because it is a direct dye. So I don't feel the need to shampoo. I feel like it's going to fade the color. So I'm just going to let this sit 20 minutes. Rinse using warmish, lukewarm water, and I will be back once my hair is styled. I don't know about this one. This might be a total fail on my part. I'll see you guys in just a second with the results. Alright, you guys, I am back. Here's the finished result. I hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's way worse than I thought it would be. Do I like any aspect of it? No, not really. Definitely catch my next few videos for color removers because ya bitch is not keeping this for very long. I will keep it for the next 24 to 48 hours and think about what I want to do to try and fix this situation, but it's not going to be around for very long. I'm going to try washing it like 1,000 times to remove most of the color. Let's examine what we have here. So, did it do what I wanted it to do to my roots? No, it did not. My roots are still the same. They might be toned down a tiny, tiny bit, but I mean, they are still very, very golden. I thought I would have like a nice dark charcoal root, but obviously my hair was way too brassy and dark for the charcoal direct dye to cover it. I think it might have canceled out a tiny bit of the orange, so it's not as noticeable, but now I have like orangey greeny roots with like super steel blue ends. This color is not ugly, okay? This color looks gorgeous on some people. Like, this is actually a very, very gorgeous gray steel blue color. It's gorgeous on its own, but with what I have going on, I'm just not a fan. It did work at canceling out some of that yellow and making like the underneath of my hair a lot more even. So now the under part of my hair is more even and it's uniform a little bit more, but it looks like shit. I feel like a swamp monster or something like that. It's just not for me. Again, color is gorgeous. Like, look at that color. It's really pretty. So if you like steel blue or gray, maybe try this because it is a really gorgeous color. But I also have a little bit of like a bluish band like right here where the charcoal got on the blonde. It's not that noticeable. Overall, it all blends together really well. I'm hoping from here on out, when I try fading it, maybe I have like a better fade out process and it's a little bit more of an even fade out process, whereas before I had like blonde on top, blue on the bottom. Hopefully now it might fade a little bit more even and uniform. So I guess for the next 2 weeks or so, I'm just gonna be trying to get this color out of my hair gradually and without using anything harsh, so that way it's ready for me to bleach my roots, because right now, not for me. I mean, you guys might like it more than I do, but I'm just not a fan at all. Which honestly, this doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. It's just not even. This is the whole reason I needed to do something to my hair and it didn't fix this. I'll spin around and show you the back for what it's worth. Yeah, these colors do go good together. At least it's not like some crazy color like green, like a swampy green and like a gray or something, you know, like these colors do blend together. Okay, so here is the back. How does it look back there? I'm scared to know. That is all for today's video. If you enjoy this hair color, I will leave it linked in the description down below in case you want to give it a shot. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.